As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
The Pacific Experience Podcast.
Hello, world. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hello. This is the PAC-X Podcast. So, you know what is up. It has been a while. It is April 23rd.
23rd is correct, Mundo.
That's right, April 23rd. And we're back, ready to attack.
Yeah.
I would like to announce 1 year. It has been 1 year since the PAC-X Podcast has gone up. And this is episode 38 or 37.
This might be our anniversary, Lloyd.
This is. In fact, a year ago, I don't know if it was today, it was in April, John and I did the first episode, and we had Austin come on and do about, 20-something episodes, and here we are now, episode 38.
Woo!
38 and feeling great. Feeling fucking great! Couple things. So, thank you to everyone. It has been a while. A lot has happened. We used to do this show, once a week, every week, and now we are not able to do so, as you know. And here we are, about a month later since the last episode.
Get over it.
And it's just, honestly, it's probably going to be that way from now on. Life happens, but I'm not giving up on this fucking podcast because we're ready to fucking rock. Couple things. One, check us out at pacxpodcast.com. From there, you can go ahead and access the quick links to your favorite platform to listen to the PAC-X Podcast on, whether that be iTunes, YouTube, Podbean. That's personally my favorite, and many others as well. We're also on CastBox, too. I even found the PAC-X Podcast on a platform I didn't even know we were on. Mm-hmm. So, go ahead and go for it. Something I would love to announce as well. Check it out. There is, with our 1 year anniversary, I would also like to say that there is just really good times for us to have here in the future going forward. We have a very special guest who will be joining us. I know I've been saying this for about, 6 months now, but I'm not going to drop his name. We've been playing phone tag a little bit, but he's really deep. He's really into the deep state stuff, into the conspiracy theory world. He also has humor too, as you know, is a requirement to be able to come onto the show. You got to be able to goof and
just tell him who it is.
All right, I don't know. I can't drop it yet. Yeah, I haven't talked to him about it yet.
Come on, tell
We
us.
talked about it a little bit. I'll tell you.
No.
Next episode. Anyways, I don't know if he's going to be on for a phone interview or if he's going to be here in person, but regardless, it's going to be not only an honor to have him on, but it's going to be a damn good time too. And I'm going to pick his brain for you fans who are listening so you can hear their voices other than John and us.
Ooh.
John and I.
Speaking
of, I'm Lloyd.
And I'm John.
And we're here to fucking rock. Check it out. Something awesome going on. It is springtime, spring cleaning, time to get your spring cleaning done. There is no better place to get it done other than with Neat Nicks Carpet Cleaning. That's right, Neat Nicks. Kind of like Netflix, but they're neat. Really good pricing, really good service. They do hands-on work, locally owned here in the Pacific Northwest. A group of really good group and team of people that are there to give you outstanding service and an experience and a good price with good quality. But here's the best part. You can get 25% off just from listening to this podcast. The best way to do that, dial 503-245-5277. Again, that's 503-245-5277. Here's the thing. You got to mention promo code PACXPOD. Mention promo code PACXPOD. They will give you 25% off your carpet cleaning. And no, not that kind of carpet. Stay clean, folks.
Oh, my God.
I had to. Anyways, moving forward, I'm Lloyd, like I said. We have John here. This is episode 37 or 38. I can't even fucking remember. 38. This is episode 38.
38?
This is episode 38. 38, feeling great.
Hey. Feeling great, 38.
Woo! John, what the fuck is going on, dude? How you doing?
Not much. I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing good.
Good.
Things are happening. Broke my nose this last weekend, broke my nose. Yeah, it was a boxing match. It was sanctioned. No, it was unsanctioned. It was a smoker fight. It was pretty fun, though.
You broke your nose?
Blood everywhere.
Yeah!
I never thought I'd break my nose. Well, actually, I thought it's a matter of time. I got one of those long, Norwegian thin,
You do have a big ass
noses.
fucking nose.
Yeah,
it's intimidating. It's a nice nose, bro.
Yeah, dude, I like it. It's fine, but it broke. It broke finally.
Big things get broken.
That's right. Of
That's
all
my
the
dick's always
contact
hurting.
sports I've played,
Seriously, we've boxed as teenagers in basements. We played football. You do
wrestling,
hockey. And sorry, how'd you break your nose? You fucking slipped on some ice or some shit?
Boxing.
You old man? Boxing?
Yeah.
Dude, you're a fucking meat.
Yeah, I love
you
it.
know?
I love it.
John here is such a fucking savage. Give this guy a block of wood, he'll eat it. He'll fucking eat it. I swear, you truly are.
No dressing needed.
Your past life, you were definitely a dog.
Oh, for sure.
Golden retriever. We talked about this on like the first episode.
For sure. If there's past life, dog, for sure. I mean, I like it when people pet me. And I like the dogs that, I can cuddle with the dog. You can lick my face. People think it's gross.
You like to lick your asshole. It's chill. Yeah, totally like a dog, dude.
I licked an ass once.
How was that?
It tasted like apple pie.
Not bad.
That was actually tasted like sour apple.
Sour
apple. I'm not kidding. Bad. It was nighttime. I was drunk. She had laid on the bed. She stuck her butt up, and I just dove right into that shit. I thought I was gonna get the pussy from the back. Never try it. Never try it. I was so far off.
Let me ask you. Were you scared she might have was like about to fart?
No. Not at all.
You're kind of down for it. Weren't you?
I was not down for the asshole, but it happened. I started eating it, and I really didn't even notice. I didn't even notice, and the next morning, she's like, you ate my ass last night, and I was like, what? What? I think that's how it happened.
So you don't even remember. That means you don't know what happened.
I remember the whole thing. I remember it vividly, but I didn't know that
I
was a
remember it
butthole until... You know what? Maybe it was the same night. I don't know. She ended up telling me, and I didn't know the difference at the time. Isn't that crazy? My tongue was all like,
Yeah, I mean, we get confused when we're excited, right? Happens to all of us.
Well, when you're drunk and you're half dog.
Right. Yeah, well, that makes... See, there you go. You truly are. I like to think that... I think that I must have been like an orca, because I'm emotional and I like to play, but I don't think I deserve to be so prestigious. Such a prestigious... It's like someone being like, my past life, I was a fucking eagle. Fucking America, bitch. You know, it's like, whoa,
Bitches.
cowboy. I don't know. Who knows?
I'm sure you deserve to be an orca. No, I think you definitely were an orca. Maybe like a smaller orca, You're a smaller stature person.
Fuck you.
Hey, come on. I'm trying to help you out.
Maybe like a smaller
Maybe
orca. Well, dude, I guess orcas and dolphins have their own language in the sense of think about this, a North American orca won't know how to speak
crazy.
to a fucking Asian orca.
That is insane.
Isn't that insane? Crazy. I don't know how they found that out. I guess you just capture two of them, put them in a fucking ring, and they're just like they just don't fucking understand each other.
Yeah.
Who was the that could not be true. Who was the asshole who decided that? He's like, know what? They don't understand each other.
Yeah.
He's speaking Japanese orca, and he's fucking speaking American. English orca.
Yeah.
They could have been having a deep. They could have been podcasting.
We like to put labels on shit. They could have been podcasting, echoing their podcast across the nation or some shit.
Right, right. Well, they can do that, right, with their brains and shit. I mean, vibrations and all that. We don't know shit.
All we know is we don't know shit.
That is what you and I do know.
We can observe shit and think we know shit, but we just make up all these ideas and theories.
Apparently, if you want to understand the universe, you have to understand vibrations.
Okay.
And I got this vibrator, and I'll tell you what.
You're so bad. That is so bad.
Yeah. Anyway,
right, what about vibrations other than your butthole vibrator?
I opened up an interesting topic. But real talk though, vibrations, because
no coming back.
That's what we're observing with our eyes, our ears. Everything is vibrations. And I'm a fucking boy of Alan Watts. I fucking love Alan Watts.
Yep.
And Alan Watts was saying the only reason why you can't put your finger through a rock is because the vibrations in the rock are too fast.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about that. I was like, too fast.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Or your hand is also vibrating fast as well.
Right.
They're both fast. Well, the vibrations are electrons, right? So I'm pretty sure this is how I understand it. You got the nucleus, you got the protein, you have the proton, and the neutron, the proton. You got the... You back?
Yeah.
You got the electrons, and I guess 90% of all matter is basically just empty space, because that's how far away the electrons are circling. So I guess like a good comparison is like how close we are to the sun or something like that. I think it might even be further. Like if the sun is there and Pluto is way over there, that's the orbit of like an atom. So it's kind of crazy, you know. I feel like if you got into the right mental state or something, like spiritually or who knows,
Right.
there's that metaphysical world where you could just start passing through shit. And, you know, I'm a believer in the metaphysical. I definitely think that there are, you know, other dimensional creatures and things that we do not see that are all around us. I think there's I think there's all kinds of stuff going on, but I think that we as a sentient being, you know, can tap into that, but not all of us. I mean, most people aren't ever able to get into it, but I think that there's a possibility, you know.
You're blowing my fucking mind, dude. I agree 100%. I think that we don't know. I think there's people out there trying to say they do know, but I think ultimately we don't. And when we don't know, that the possibility of what it could be is limitless. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of like, I like the theory of people saying, well, we don't know what's in space, but then, you know, it's kind of like, by you saying what there is and is not is like scooping up a cup of water out of the ocean and saying this is everything that's in the ocean. Mm-hmm. You know, just because of what you can see.
What you're observing. That's science.
Yeah.
Science is observation.
Right, and even though it's false, you know, even though it's correct, you may not know what's beyond that. But
Right.
what's crazy what you said is, you know, I do believe that some people can tap into higher frequency of vibrations.
Right.
And I think that comes with studying meditation, Zen, being able to tap into yourself, because the answer in like the cosmos, the questions of the cosmos is, it's in our heads. Mm-hmm. Because what I've been really studying recently, and I guess we can make this the topic of the episode,
sure,
if you'd like,
whatever
is
you want.
The difference between consciousness and mind. The ultimate argument is, does the brain create consciousness, or is consciousness separate from the brain? What do you think?
Well, of all the sciences, one thing that we...
Science is such a broad fucking term.
Okay,
It's science.
Well, of all the science and the data we've collected,
Fuck
you know,
your
this is how it is
science
exactly. You know, we don't know, but
Yeah.
no, of all the things, let's just say things. Okay, is that fucking close enough to not being exact enough for you, motherfucker? Of all the things in the world that science has claimed to understand, one of those things is definitely not consciousness. That's something we profess time and time again, that like we do not understand consciousness whatsoever. We don't know how the observer is the observer. You know, if we are really, like, if we look at a materialist or a naturalist perspective, it's like, okay, if we are just a bunch of chemicals and cells, you know, then why how come what gives those cells an option to make choices? You know, what drives those cells to be, you know, to make decisions, right? So I don't know, just it doesn't make sense. So we're trying to figure out, like, okay, what defines like a life, or because when someone's unconscious, you know, is that a valuable life when they're unconscious? But when they're making decisions and choices, that's when it's like, okay, the life is more valuable. So it's just pretty interesting. You know, that's something we don't really understand is consciousness.
But if someone is unconscious, I don't think that what that means that they don't have consciousness.
Right.
I think that just means
Absolutely.
that the brain is not connecting to that consciousness, therefore displaying it through the five senses: sight, fucking,
for sure,
you know, taste, hearing, smell, all, you know, all that.
Right.
Because our consciousness that's our soul.
What's a soul?
Exactly. That's the question, you know, is self-awareness.
Yeah.
Being aware of your existence. Mm-hmm. I remember being a child several times in my life just tripping out over this thought.
Right.
And that probably leads to why I'm doing this fucking podcast today, because as a kid, I remember looking in the mirror and just fucking tripping, dude, being like, this is me. I am alive. I'm in this body. Whoa. And for some reason, since then as a child, I haven't been able to get back into that feeling. I remember what it was. The other fault of it, too, is some Alan
Take
Watts
some
also
acid.
preaches. Yeah, right. Yeah. No, seriously.
Then you'll, or just stone.
Something else that Alan Watts preaches, too, is that, everything that we know is defined by language. Well, language is limits everything. If we can't define it, then it doesn't exist. I've said this on several episodes recently, but if we can't define it, then it doesn't exist. And that's what a lot of mainstream scientists, and others go off of, is it has to be defined. If it can't be defined, then disregard it, right? Well, I think there's something real going on, man. I think there's something really powerful between the conscious mind, or the conscious self, and the brain. Let me ask you this. Have you heard of astral projection?
No.
Oh. Bruh. I need a fucking soundboard. Astral... Go ahead.
Well, I just want to point out that I think that's that's a great fallacy that you just said. I think, the Alan Watts. One thing that I don't agree with, like Hinduists and the Chinese and Asian, whatever, Eastern religions, is this, this idea. There's a lot of logical fallacies, tons of them. If I can't observe it, or if I don't have a definition for it, then it doesn't exist. It's like, no, if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, does the tree actually, make a noise? Of course it makes a noise.
I thought about that a lot, John, since you and I sat there in that graveyard in the middle of the night drinking.
Yeah.
Fucking, and you mentioned that. I have listened to Alan Watts. My wife's over there making tea, if you couldn't hear it. She hears me listen to Alan Watts. I listen out probably 2 hours a day. I don't do anything 2 hours a day worth except for work and fucking sleep. So I do a lot of Alan Watts listening. And that what you pointed out is something that I'm trying to solve in my head. Does it or does it not happen? I don't have an answer yet, but I would definitely like to talk about it. And I think the question is not does it happen or does it not? Because I believe that if you think that it does, then it does. If you think that it does not, then it does not. You and I think that it does, because I agree with you. If no one's there to hear the sound of a tree falling in the middle of the woods, does it make a sound? I agree that it fucking does.
Yeah.
But if you believe that it doesn't, then it doesn't. And think about that. Now, if you put me here and someone right here next to me who thinks the opposite way that you and I are thinking, which one wins?
Truth always wins.
I don't think truth always
Subjective.
wins.
Oh, absolutely.
It does win, but not to society right now.
No. Every subjective truth. So you might have a subjective truth, right? But truth is truth regardless. When you drop an apple, it falls. Okay, this is what is this? What do we call that?
Gravity.
Gravity. Isaac Newton. Gravity, right?
Fuck Isaac Newton. He was a bitch.
Oh my god!
I need another beer. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Universe.
Pancakes podcast is live.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
We're talking about laws of nature. Laws of nature exist, period. So whether you think you're a fucking dinosaur or you don't think you're a dinosaur, if you're a human being, you're a human being. Okay? Same with a chair. Even if you have a different name for a chair, the function's the same. It's used as a fucking chair. But there's laws of physics that are undeniable across cultures. So this whole subjective truth, nonsense is BS. And there's also other truths, moral truths that we can stand by that aren't just cultural. They just exist.
There ain't morals anymore.
Yeah, there are morals.
I agree. Not in today's society. Not in the Pack X fucking podcast.
Yep, Melcy.
Mep. Yeah, man, it's fascinating. It's all super fascinating. I've been looking into what happens after death and looking at other people's opinions of it, and not in a religious way, but in a spiritual way. Yeah, and the beer. I got you, man. Fucking arm reaching distance for a reason.
Give me the beer right now. We got a line?
Did you
Put
say
the
a line? Bro.
lime in the coconut.
Gotta chill. Oh, a lime. I thought you said a line. I was like, dude, no, fuck.
I don't
chill
wanna
out
stop
a little
it. I'll
bit.
get the lime. I'll get the line.
You mind cutting me one? All right, we got Corona and lime here. By the way, that's what we're drinking, Corona and lime. No fancy schmancy fucking IPA from the Pacific Northwest.
No milk, Melcy.
Yeah, John, on episode 3, John just got fucked up on milk. It was intense. We're taking a little break here, I guess, for a second. Ow! Fuck! Hold on. Anywho, so, apologize for that, folks. What I was saying is... Got me that lime, bro. Thank you.
What I was saying was I don't really know what I was saying.
Right,
so,
right, exactly.
Because my reality defines everything. Fuck off.
No, not like that.
Your reality defines your reality, and
Well,
mine
what I mean,
defines
dude, is...
mine.
I mean, you believe that there's another fucking dimension that we can access when we sleep and when we do drugs and after we die. Wouldn't you agree? Would you?
I believe, I think there are there's a spiritual realm that, explains the life that we see around us.
Well
I think there's much more than the, dimension that we're in, which is space and time.
Right. And matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we're limited by the 5 senses in this dimension, in this reality. And I believe that we can access something much, much deeper. And what I was saying before was looking into what these people have to say. I fucking can't remember his name. Old fucker who is really experienced, has degrees in psychology, and what's the other one? Has to do with like spirituality, psychology, and something else.
Theology is
No,
Bible.
Psychology and fuck, I can't remember. Butchering this. Anyways, this guy, he's very famous for studying what happens after death, and not so much that because there's no way we can fucking tell, right? More importantly, he studies near-death experiences, and he basically collected thousands and thousands and thousands of incidents of data to do these studies with. He's done them since the 1980s. Now, what he has said, what he has noticed, is that what people experience during a near-death experience is different between cultures. He said, for example, the Western culture is the United States. Us, what we experience is a white tunnel, a white light. He said that other cultures will experience water, where they have to like cross water. Others experience, whatever, fill in the blank of other stories that you hear. We say, don't follow the light. That's a saying that people have had during a near-death experience. And it's you can only imagine not being able to feel the things that a body feels, which is anxiety, pain, hunger, sleep, and all those things. There's stories of people who have passed away from heart attacks and whatnot, and they straight up have looked at their body through a third-person view. You know what I mean? They're viewing themselves. In fact, there's this crazy story of this guy who, I guess his heartbeat stopped when he was in the hospital, and he remembers being outside of his hospital room and looking at the two nurses who were having a conversation about him outside his room. And he came back to life, and when the nurses came in and checked on him, he told them the conversation they had, and one of the nurses passed out because she's like, oh my God, because not only that was he dead, but the doors were closed. There's no way he could hear it, and he straight up told them the conversation they had. That is fucking mind-blowing. That's one of hundreds, in fact, not hundreds, just thousands of incidents what happens, whatever, during a near-death experience. And that leads me to what I was going to bring up earlier, astral projection. You've never heard of that?
No.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
Astral projection, my friend, is...
Hold on. Did you just say asshole projection?
Yes. I'm about to show you now.
I think I know what asshole...
Pants. Check this shit out.
No. I think I know what asshole projection is.
I think you know, too, what asshole projection is. I'm not surprised at all. astral. Fucking asshole.
Dick.
Astral projection is when anyone can do it.
Asshole projection.
Damn it, John.
What were you gonna say?
Fucking asshole.
Asshole. All right. Childish games are over.
No, they're not. They're just getting fucking started.
All right.
We all know it. You and I are already fucking 2-3 beers deep.
Bill.
John's getting too comfortable.
I am. I have reassituated myself to
Yep.
be in the comfort position.
You're going to pass
of
out in 15 minutes.
asshole projection. All right, let's hear your stupid theory now.
This ain't a theory, dude. Anyone can do it.
All right.
People have done it. So basically what it is you go into a deep state of meditation, and you can leave the body. You can leave the body and travel the cosmos. You can leave the body and go somewhere else around the world. You can't decide or control where you go, but you can have an out-of-body experience. That's what astral...
projection.
That's what astral projection is.
Okay.
Now, that's in a nutshell. I mean, as far as...
Have you ever lucid dreamed?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's probably a bit like lucid dreaming.
Right.
I have friends who experience the whole flying around, not the cosmos, but the world. I have personally experienced some lucid dreaming, which is basically...
Sounds like astral projection.
Which is basically a deep meditative state that you're talking about where you have out-of-body experience, right? It's basically the same thing.
Right.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Different than a dream, though.
Yeah, you're not...
Way vivid. Way more vivid than a dream. Yeah.
I've traveled through time in my own memories and made different decisions. So that was pretty fun.
Interesting.
It was
really
very interesting. Yeah,
that is very interesting.
It was weird. Super weird.
Well, anyone can do astral projection, but here's where it gets tricky. And hold on a second.
All right.
Here's what's crazy is there's studies that the Army did back in like the 50s to use astral projection, asshole projection,
okay,
as a tool or a weapon. Right? Now, how do we know this? Because people have come out and said so.
And they made a movie.
Did they?
Those guys
What's
who
the movie?
explode goat heads, the goat exploding.
I feel like
people.
I've heard about this.
God, I forgot the name of it, but I think it's called something like the goat exploding people.
Bullshit.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's
Shut
like
the fuck
it's
up.
a basic name, super basic.
Okay. Well,
It was on Netflix for years.
the
Well, it
people
seemed
who
like years.
explode goat heads
Something
sounds
like that.
fucking great.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
I actually believe you. I remember hearing some shit like this a while ago, like a year ago or
It's
something.
pretty good. It was a good movie.
I guess these people have come out and they've said, they're trained, and what they're trying to do is, I mean, think about it, dude. If you needed a drone back in the 1950s, asshole projection is going to be the way.
It's the only way.
It's going to be the way to do it versus actually physically having a drone. What we have in this time.
Pigeons were pretty good back then. You could put cameras
but you can't.
on pigeons.
Oh yeah, I guess there
It's
you go.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Experiment.
However, but with what we're talking, and so basically these people who came out and they were saying like how they had to do asshole projection. I'm never saying it correctly now.
Yeah,
for now,
you're
on.
welcome.
Thank you. Is you have to think about nothing.
Some asshole.
Well, I guess. Yeah. Well, we're at that time. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna jump back. Yeah.
All right.
We're at that time frame, dude. We're already at 30 minutes in.
Why are we taking this
Homeboy.
break, man?
I always take a break 30 minutes in.
All right, that sounds good.
So that way you can get your asshole projection out of your
shoot.
goddamn system so we can talk about some fucking shit. This always happens. The first half of the show, we just fuck around the whole time. And then the second half, we get real serial.
Super serious.
I don't care what direction it goes. Like I said to John when John came over, I was like, you know what? I've taken probably hundreds of notes on bullshit from conspiracies to spiritual discoveries and leading up to this podcast throughout the last 4 weeks since our last episode. And I have none of those notes tonight as we start this episode because on this show, we go whatever fucking direction we want.
Because it's the Pack X
Because
podcast.
it's the Pack X Anyways, check us out at packxpodcast.com. Don't forget to go check out Neat Nick's Carpet Cleaning. Again, that's 503-245-5277, all the way down to the Portland area, up here in the Seattle area, even Vancouver. Check them out. Mention promo code PackXPod. Get 25% off. Get your fucking spring cleaning done and get that carpet cleaned. We'll be right back.
It's not what you think.
It's not.
It's Neat Nick's.
Hey, I was looking to get my fucking dick fucked. 25% off. Promo code PackXPod.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking-
It's not. It's Neat Nick's.
And
Go to Neat Nick's.
I probably lost that sponsor.
Clean those carpets.
Yeah,
They're really good though. Seriously.
no, they really are good. The main thing about them
right
is their professionalism, and they're just nice folk. And they go above and beyond. They're not there to just get the fucking job done and get out. But if that's what you want to, they'll get that done as well. I will be back. We will be back with you after the break. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Pack X Podcast. Talk to you in a couple minutes. And we're back.
We are back.
Live and doing well. You are with the Pack X Podcast, and we are with you. Thank you. I am Lloyd.
This is John.
Ready to fucking rock out with our cocks out, get the fuck out, clock out. What is going on, world? So, just again, thank you so much. This is episode 38. And 38, feeling
It's a
great.
good number.
It is. I would like to shout out too. We're at over almost 1,300 fucking downloads.
Whoa!
With total episodes. So even with us taking a break in between the, instead of doing an episode every week and doing an episode every month, we're still getting a ton of downloads in that time frame. I honestly thought it would fall off and that no more listeners would come back, but I was wrong. It looked like we actually got more listeners. By only doing this so often. Yeah, actually. So I don't, press advertising or anything like that. So it obviously is word of mouth. The best thing you can do, share us with your friends. Maybe not share us with your family. John's over there. Is it fucking, what's wrong? Yeah.
Melcy.
Right. John's getting too excited.
I'm just
share us with your friends. Maybe not share us with your family. Cheers, John.
Thank you very much.
To many, many good times to follow. Pack X Podcast is 100% fucking dedicated to more quality episodes to you in the future. But this last year, the goal was just to get us going, to get us with a good website, to get us with all the above, really, to get a fan base, and that has been happening. And so what we're going for now is we're about to get some real folk here to interview. Yep. Not to mention, I found a T-shirt line. You'll be able to get T-shirts on the website at $20. $20 flat. As far as, and that's going to include whatever. I'll disclose it later when we get more details. But T-shirts are on the way. You can support Pack X Podcast however you want. I'm going to be doing a little promo with that too. First 20 T-shirts ordered can get a free sticker and a fucking keychain and a fucking dildo. I don't know. We'll come up with it, but. You know how we like to rock and roll. Anyways, Neat Nick's Carpet Cleaning.
If you get you can get a shirt that says "Asshole Projection" Pack X.
Yes, let's make it, dude. Fuck it. Asshole projection.
Asshole projection.
Dude.
It's and then the definition right underneath.
Yeah, totally. And then on the front of the shirt, Pack X Pod.
Yeah. Sour apple.
Yeah. Check us out at packxpodcast.com. Like I was saying, share us with your friends, maybe not your family. Lots of fucking exciting shit to come. But John, here you are again.
Yes.
We're here a year later.
1 year later.
1 fucking year later. So, what's going on in the world, man? We were talking about asshole projection a little bit. Obviously, we couldn't take that shit too seriously. Honestly, I don't have any of my notes here to really dive deep. I will next episode for sure. But what's going on in the world? What the fuck here? You got some fucking notes?
Yeah, I got some
Lysol
notes.
cleaning wiper, superbug.
I'll read them.
GMOs. Ooh,
Get out of
5G.
here. I'll
What do you
take
got?
it. I'll take it. Okay. Okay.
Talk to us. You got some notes? I don't have notes. What
Well,
do you want to
Lloyd,
talk about?
As you said earlier, we came into this podcast. You had all these notes written, but we came into this podcast with no notes at all. We didn't need anything. So I was like, well, we might need some notes in this podcast. You know, we might need to do something.
some notes.
Hey, come over here. I'll give you some notes, huh? What do you think, huh? You want some notes, huh? Yeah, I'll give them to you. So, but anyways, I was like, well, I'll write some notes. Lloyd was cleaning the table, and I was like, well, these fucking Lysol cleaning wipes, right? These fucking Lysol cleaning wipes. But seriously, though, here's the issue. Here's the real world issue with
Is
Lysol
that the cause of
cleaning wipes.
cancer?
Nope, not the cause of cancer. Guess again.
The cause of fucking stupidity.
Nope.
The cause of assholes projecting.
Okay, maybe it's all three answers in one.
Oh, shit.
So assholes projecting, also our stupidity, and then, yeah, all of the above. So anyways, when I was in school, I had a teacher. She was in biology. She was a biology teacher. That's what she did for a living. She had a big fucking issue with 99. Well, it's a real
I thought you were about to say a big fucking ass.
well, we're just gonna go through these. We're gonna go through these one by
Oh,
one.
99
real
kills 99.99% of germs. Since a kid, I was like,
99.99%
that's
germs.
bullshit. Nothing's ever 99.99%.
Let's just say it is 99.99%. That 0.001% that gets through. You know what that is?
Cancer.
That's the point. It's all fucking cancer. If I breathe too close to this fucking mic, it's giving me cancer. If I put on the wrong type of clothes, it's giving me cancer.
Dude,
if I breathe the wrong type of air, it's giving me cancer. Fuck.
Austin straight up deep throat that mic.
Bro.
It might have been this one.
No,
I'm not sure.
it's your mic, not Mike. Oh my gosh. You want me to?
No, you were yelling in the
I'm
mic.
sorry. Did I yell in your guys'
People
ears?
are probably like, I did love Pack X podcast until John just yelled at my fucking. By the way, apologies. The last 2 episodes, if you listened, you know what I'm apologizing for. Apologies for the screaming into the. Sorry. Anyways, yeah. Now we're just gonna be super quiet. What else you got
forget
on there,
about
man?
it. Okay, so here's what
I
it
see
is.
5G on there. I'll talk about some
No, I'm
fucking
gonna tell
5G.
you that we gotta finish the Lysol wipes real quick.
Oh my
99.9% of germs die. The other 0.1%,
Well, yeah, what is it?
they become super bugs and they kill people. They kill babies, actually.
What?
That's what she was saying, man. She freaked out. She was like, they kill babies. You can't be using killing 99% of the germs because the other 0.01% evolve.
That's so dramatic to say, though. Like,
Bro, I'm telling you.
so anything that says 99.99% kills babies.
Yep. Well, but guess what?
I have all of that in my house, man.
I'll tell you this much. I want my doctor fucking cleaning their hands with all the bacteria killing shit because I don't need them sewing me up with like bacteria hands from fucking natural ass, soap. Get that shit out of here. Kill those germs and wash your damn hands with Lysol. I'm all for it. On to the next subject.
Okay.
The next subject is, okay, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of parts to this, okay? So the first...
I'm fucking ready.
Okay,
We got 30 minutes.
The main subject is the guinea pig populace experiment. This is...
Go on.
I wrote this down on paper. This is my thing. Guinea pig populace experiment. Go on. Hey. Okay, so the guinea pig populace experiment, I'll let you think about it for a second. Just think about guinea pig populace experiment. What does that mean to you, Lloyd?
The guinea pig populace experiment. Let me guess. They took a whole fucking thing of guinea pigs and they were like, you get a job, you get a job, and you get a job. You pay high taxes, you don't pay taxes, you pay kind of taxes, and if you don't, you owe us more money.
Absolutely
You're gonna-
incorrect. But actually, you know what? That's pretty close.
And then we're going to do something called 5G to enhance your communications
All
and
right.
your addiction to your
You
smartphones.
obviously cheated and read
And
my
we're-
notes, so just shut up. Guinea pig populous experiment.
Dude, it's not cheating.
Yes, it is.
All right, go on.
When I write things down, sometimes I write them backwards. So maybe I should have said experiment populous guinea pig. I don't know. But guinea pig populous experiment is just all the stuff they test on us as the U.S. population. So, number one, GMOs. GMOs were released in 1991. That's when you and I were born. And so with that, nearly no other nation accepted GMOs into the populace except for the United States. They were like, yeah, go ahead and try GMOs on the populace.
First of all, for
and
those
now,
out there who don't know, what is GMO? Sorry to interrupt.
genetically modified foods, but the O stands for something.
Some fucking scientific term that turns people off from wanting to
I think
investigate.
GMO is MO is modified. So GMOs, genetically modified organisms. There you go. So anyways, we go in, we modify the seeds to only be able to bloom and produce fruit only if you spray certain kinds of things on them, and then they cross-pollinize and they get onto other plants that are natural that don't need that special spray, like Miracle Grow type stuff, and then now the government, and it's Monsanto and it's FDA that regulates this stuff, and it's all just basically a big conspiracy saying, okay, but anyways, it all started in 1991. And GMOs were allowed on U.S. territory, but they weren't allowed on pretty much all the other developed nations in the world. And so what I'm trying...
That's not cool.
Yep, we are guinea pigs in the populous experiment. Okay, that's why I said it. So anyways, GMOs, that's part of the experiment.
Ain't no fucking guinea pig, damn it.
That's
I'm a
right.
fucking human being.
We ain't no guinea pigs here, huh? You're gonna call me a guinea pig? I ain't from New Jersey. I'm from Washington State. Get out of here. Yeah, get out of here, Guido. Hey, Guido. Nothing against you, New Jersey. Seriously, nothing against you. But get the hell out of here. I don't need this. Get out of here, this
shit.
fucking
All right,
chair.
John.
This chair. So anyways.
Talk to me about this 5G shit, dude.
All right, man. So getting further down, you gotta wait for the damn 5Gs, okay, bro?
What else you got?
Okay,
Please tell me you have the fucking pedophilia motherfuckers out
All
there.
right.
Fucking Dracula sucking the fucking energy out of children and shit. That got real. That got real quick.
None of that, and that's
we covered that last.
Yeah, if you want to get
covered
into
that last episode.
If you want to get into Hollywood and those types of motherfuckers who are like have these child sex rings and the sucking of blood, and we all know that weird ass shit goes on in dark corners of the world.
We don't all know that, John. Only us fucking truth seekers.
Well, do I have evidence? No.
No one has evidence, dude.
Bro, so it's just a fucking conspiracy, and it truly is like a fucking bold ass conspiracy with no fucking evidence. So if I can give you evidence,
the crazier it is, the harder it is to believe.
Okay, you know what evidence we do have is that there are child sex rings. That's pretty much a known fact right now because all these pedophiles and
Clinton
email, the pizza ring. What is that pizza ring? You remember
Pedagate.
Pedagate. There we go. The Pedagate's all fucked up. So there are these child sex, and they're all over the world. It's not just here. They're everywhere. Now they're here in the United States, and
anyways, we don't need
scary.
Excuse me, we don't need to talk about that. We talked about
what
that
I'm
last
getting
episode.
into with
if you want to hear that, go to the last episode.
There's all kinds of stuff
Shit's
that we
fucking
get.
weird
There's
and
all
sad.
kinds of stuff that the government allows that we become guinea pigs in. So tons of stuff, and right now the big one is 5G.
Motherfucking 5G. Dude, it's not just that. It's fucking everything. You got the fucking 5G. You got our foods. There's places where it's illegal to grow your own fucking food.
Yes. Here in Washington State, we can't collect our own rainwater freely. Believe that shit?
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I say fuck that. I'll collect as much rainwater as I want.
As much rainwater as you want?
Yeah. Did you hear about New York, the city, what the bill they're passing about vaccines?
No.
You'll be fined. If you don't get vaccinated.
If you don't get vaccinated?
If you don't get fucking
and that's
vaccinated.
part of the human guinea pig experiment.
I won't pay a fucking dollar.
If
you want to get vaccinated, that's fine. If I don't, fuck you, it's fine too.
It's called government inoculation.
It's like, dude, everything is imposed with a fee. If you don't do this, there's going to be a fee. Dude, and I listen to Max Egan a lot. Max Egan was just warning us of all this shit about 5G, about all these rules and regulations that are coming out, man. It's swallowing us up whole. Before you know it, I mean, look at it, dude. You have YouTube all these other sources that are used for free speech for folks like you and I to sit here and get stupid and drink a beer and fucking hoot and holler into the microphone
Freedom.
over. That is
Liberty.
Freedom, liberty. Sure. That's being removed. And if it doesn't coincide with their agenda, they take it down. Free speech is being eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
The 5G is coming across.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, dude. I wasn't preparing to talk about this shit. You know me. I get fucking wild into this kind of shit.
Yep.
So I'm not. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna wait till I have more data to talk about actual shit rather than just rambling into the microphone about 5G, dude, conspiracies. But really, 5G, dude, conspiracies. They're fucking real. Look around you. If you don't have to fucking believe it or have to go watch some stupid YouTube video to understand this. Look around you. Put your goddamn smartphone down and go outside and look around you. You got fucking chemtrails all over up in the sky. A third of this nation starve, or not this nation, of this planet starves. A third of the food that we have is thrown away. Why? Because of money. You have people getting fucking hooked and addicted to everything around them. You have the fucking the war in Afghanistan after 9/11, which was completely fucking an inside job, by the way. You have the war in Afghanistan. All of a sudden, opioid production from Afghanistan goes from like 5% to fucking 90% of the world's opioid fucking production comes straight out of Afghanistan. At ironically the same time, the United States has an opioid fucking epidemic.
Yeah.
Ironically, when we go to Afghanistan, where all the fucking poppy seeds are made, there's a soldier fucking filming himself with his fucking smartphone saying, "I'm being told to guard this poppy seed field." He was supposed to fucking guard it with his life. Because they're taking that shit, selling it, who knows, fill in the blank. I mean, we can, conspiracies, dude, but you know what? Fuck you if you want to just make fun of the whole conspiracies, man, because they're fucking real. Look around you, question yourself, is the world the way that it should be? Well, people would argue this. No, there is no big giant conspiracies. Humans are just corrupt that way. Really? Really? Humans are just corrupt that way. Really? Because think about it. If we're really part of this world we live in, if we're natural to it, and especially those of you out there who think we're just a mistake of gases and chemicals collected and throughout millions of years of over time have evolved into these emotional, intelligent, conscious awareness human beings, fine, you can think that. But if you think that we're just straight up we're just corrupted, just evil fucks, I think I want to argue that. I think that you're wrong. I think human beings are not naturally corrupted fucks. I think that those ones out there exist, and those ones out there that do exist have too much control, and they are in control. Therefore, have caused a chain reaction of, if you want to play ball with us and get up to the top where you get to control shit and make decisions, you got to be a crooked fucking corrupt son of a bitch.
You don't have to be.
No, you don't have to be, and the good guys exist, like what Eddie Bravo was saying in that show we went to. Remember, if the good guys weren't in there, blackmailing wouldn't exist. You know what I mean? Stuff like that wouldn't be there. There are good guys trying to fight. But, that's led us to where we are now. There's bad guys out there. They have too much control, and that has led to the sick fucking world that we live in now. And don't blame people. People walk around and they go, "Oh, I hate people. I hate people." You know what? I hate people that say that they hate people. I don't hate people. I look at them as victims. Yes, they're stupid because they want to fucking argue their point of, well, whoever should be president or the gun laws they should believe in, or whatever. They want to argue their point. But mind you, we're just emotional we're emotional creatures. Mm-hmm. And we're full of love. And we either have love or we have the opposite of it, which is what? Hate. We're either one way or the other. We're fucking full of love or full of hate.
Yeah.
And whoever can control our five senses, fucking sight, hearing, taste, smell, whoever is controlling the five senses gets to control where our direction of love or hate goes towards. Mm-hmm. And our five senses are controlled by who we call the boss, which is not ourselves, which is who it should be. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is your internal self, Zen, fucking meditation. It's the government.
Zen. Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna disagree with you.
Thank you. Let's talk.
Yeah, well, I gotta disagree with you in the fact that you said that you don't think people are just evil fucks. I don't think
that we're supposed to be, but we've been domesticated.
I don't think so. Let me finish. I think we're born into sin. I really do. I think we are evil from the get-go. I mean, you look at a child, if you leave that child alone in a room with 10 other children, you're going to see a whole shit ton of sin going on. I'll tell you that much. There's going to be a lot of lying. There's going to be a lot of stealing. There's going to be a lot of just real hatred going on.
Because they've watched television. Because they've been raised in a Western American society.
Nope, absolutely
you don't think
not.
that naturally being?
Bro, I'm telling you right now, your kid and every other kid on the planet.
My kid's a fucking angel.
My kid's an angel. You can't talk to my kid, dude.
Fucking A+, fucking pristine, fucking
Took
human
our
being.
jibs. They took our jibs. And after they took our jibs, they took our women. And after they took our women, they took our land. And now we have SARS. Oh my God. No way.
That got weird real quick.
No, but seriously though.
Keep going. I'm sorry. You were going in.
No, it's not. No. It's fine. So, what I disagree with you, I think we're all pretty much evil, and I think we need a set of guidelines to guide us, which is why a lot of people either rely on government for their guidelines or religion for their guidelines.
Well said.
So that's we need it. Otherwise, I feel like I really do believe this. We're all going to lean towards evil because it's easier. It's easier to be evil. It's easier to lie. It's easier to steal. It's easier to do these things, to covet, to fornicate and all that good stuff, right? So you can tell, I have a set of beliefs, and it all comes from a certain place, right? But I'm telling you, if the government, there's two types of people. It's you either are following a religion or you're following what the government says. So you're totally right in the fact that, yeah, the government's telling us to do certain things, but there's two types of people in the world. Are there going to be people that follow strictly what the government says? If there's a purge, we're going to purge. Or are there going to be people who have a different set of morals where they understand that the government isn't always right in what they do, and maybe I shouldn't always stretch the limits to what the government says.
Right.
So it's one of the reasons why lawyers are the most evil things on the planet, right? Because they can get a rapist out of jail, right? Because they can play the system, right? So it's the same concept, right? So I don't agree with you in that fact, and so that's what I want to say about that.
Well, I can agree with your disagreement. I can agree with that 100%. And I like the analogy you put about putting kids in a room. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think that's a good one because I like to blame the existence of money to most of the problems of the world, especially the Federal Reserve and how money can be created through thin air and how banks, think about it. What does a bank mean? Well, bank is on a river. In a river, what's a bank? It controls the flow, right? Banks control the flow of money. Money controls us. Money's made through thin air. Money would not exist if debt did not exist. If all debts did not exist in the world, money would not be needed. Isn't that a bizarre fact? And then you look at this, there's 3% of money in the world is only physical. Or only 3%. We're going to reword that. Only 3% of it is physical. The other 97% is all digital. And that's what keeps us in control. And to tie back to it, the bad guys, who are the bad guys? The Federal Reserve was created, the early 1900s? And even our president at the time made a speech saying that he made a big mistake by signing basically the government over to the Federal Reserve. That goes to the conspiracy of the Titanic. Have you heard about this?
I haven't heard of the conspiracy of the Titanic relating to the Federal Reserve, no.
Well, the conspiracy of it is you have J.P. Morgan, right, and a ton of other dudes
oh my God.
That went and met on an island, and they discussed the plans for the Federal Reserve, right? Well, they made votes, whatever. Now, what he did was he created the they made a vote, and those who voted against him, who voted against the Federal Reserve, which was a lot, it lost. It couldn't get built. They're like, okay, fine. Well, guess what, laddies? I have a ship, a giant, luxurious ship that's going to take all these people to America, to the new land, and you can go there. Here, I have tickets for you. Go to the United States. And guess what? J.P. Morgan missed the boat. He missed the ship, and the ship sank.
Oh, he missed it.
He missed it. He was supposed to be on it, and he missed it. And the other people, there's three other people who voted for the Federal Reserve that was on his team that missed it as well.
No way.
Not to mention, they made all the money from the insurance claims.
No way.
They
There's
took
no
a
way.
fat insurance.
There's
Honest to
no
God,
way.
this isn't conspiracy.
There's no
full
way.
truth. Look it up.
There's no way.
How does J.P. Morgan miss the ship? Oh, I just missed it. Hopefully I'll get the next one to America.
No way.
Yep.
There's
They all
no way.
sank. Federal Reserve fucking went off. And guess what? They used the money from the insurance claim on it.
So it's kind of like the trade centers.
100
The TSA.
fucking percent.
But in this case, it's truly for money, while the TSA was more so for...
Well, yeah. Then you have the World
Controlling
Trade
people.
Center. That was not only just like Pearl Harbor and just like the Gulf of Tonkin to get us into World
You
War
think
II.
we knew about
And-
Pearl Harbor
Oh,
before it happened?
fuck yeah, dude!
Oh my god.
They wanted in the war.
I
They
don't
were
know.
trying to find
I don't know
a way.
about any of this.
Oh fuck yeah!
I gotta do
dude.
my own research.
Even Roosevelt, they wanted in the war. They wanted to get into the war, but they had to have and here's the thing: it's not like I believe that 9/11 was completely inside job and done by the government. This one is like, no, don't.
Well, you can't explain Building 7, and there's a lot of other things you can't explain.
Right.
Anyways, go ahead.
And
Sorry.
they knew the attack was coming.
Yeah.
And they could have prevented it, but they didn't because now, great. Guess what? They get to do war, and war is the most profitable thing to a government, right? And you get to control everyone. However, whatever. Fill in the blank. Yeah, dude. Even in the World Trade Center, think about it. It's a catch-20. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful plan because not only do you get all the money from the insurance that was taken out days or weeks before the fucking event happened, but all the people who were against you went to work that day. All the people who are with you don't go into work that day.
Right.
Not to mention with the World Trade Center, dude, with 9/11, what happened to be going down in the moment it happened, all the jets that were supposed to be intercepting these planes were doing a drill and were told to stand down.
Yeah.
There's a video recording of
No, I've heard this. I've heard the
what's
recording.
his name? His nickname is Darth. To make fun of him, Darth.
Butthole.
Yeah. What's his name? Fucking.
I am Cornholio.
Damn it! What's his fucking name?
Doesn't matter.
Anyways, but basically he was yelling over the microphone, telling the fighters to stand down. And they're like, is this a drill or is it not? Are there planes that have been hijacked? He goes, stand down. You were to not intercept those planes.
It's like Dick Cheney.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Cheney.
Yeah.
Yep, Dick Cheney. Yeah, telling them to fucking stand down from it, dude. And then you have George Bush, too, being like, when I saw the first plane hit, it wasn't filmed the first plane hitting. The only footage of the first plane hitting was filmed from down below, and you don't physically see it hit. You see it fly over their heads. Everyone goes, whoa, and turns and looks, and then you hear a big boom. Mm-hmm. There's no video of it. And if there is, please post it on PackX website.
There's no video of the first plane hitting?
First plane hitting.
No way. Serious?
There could be out there. I don't know. Technology's insane. It's hard to believe now, but back then, not everyone had a filming smartphone in their pocket.
Oh, it's true. I remember.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And George Bush was up there talking about, when I saw the first plane hit, not when he heard of it happening,
Building 7 just fell down. Building 7 standing behind him.
Right. Some shit like that. Exactly. But yeah, man, you have these incidents, and what they are is they're false flags. A false flag is great. In fact, Hitler even did it. Hitler did it to himself with the Third Reich. He had a giant fucking building, library or whatever. Basically, he faked an attack on himself, and this not only did he make money from the insurance, just like Titanic and J.P. Morgan, just like 9/11, just like Pearl Harbor, they made money from the insurance, and not only that, they had a people. The people were fired up and ready to go to fucking war. They were ready to die. They were ready to follow the government's orders at a blind cause.
Yep.
Whatever you tell me, government, I will fucking do it.
Right.
I'm ready to do it. You had people lining up out the door to enlist.
Right.
Hitler did that, and it worked wonderfully. Mm-hmm. It worked great. In fact, I was even talking to someone about this the other day, kind of a little side note. Do you know when meth was invented?
When?
During World War II, by Hitler. For his
I've
soldiers,
heard of
for
that.
super soldiers.
Yeah.
So that way they wouldn't eat, and they would go fucking crazy. And they would
Makes sense.
fuck whenever they wanted to.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, bizarre shit.
Huh.
So you have these big events that happen, and those are called false flags. Now, what's claimed as the next false flag, and this has been claimed by many people out there, including the one that I believe in and want to follow. God, I'm doing terrible with names. Always happens when I'm drinking.
I'm bad with names, too.
Come on, the guy from Roswell.
Roswell?
Yeah, what's his name? Philip J. Corso. Lieutenant Colonel Philip J. Corso. Philip J. Corso, who was the man at Roswell and who was supposed to go investigate all that, on his deathbed, he talked about these false flags. And he says, look, he's dying, dude. And it's being filmed. And he says, first, they're going to have you fear a foreign enemy. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to have you fear terrorists. No, terrorists first. First, you're going to fear terrorists.
It's like a foreign enemy.
Well, right, exactly. Then a foreign dictator, which to me would be fucking Kim Jong-un, right? Right after the whole terrorist thing.
I don't know. Trump's making friends with him. It's making
right. Now,
good.
Now it's happening. But I mean, even look at the terrorist thing, dude. After 9/11 happened, terrorist. It was mentioned everywhere. Everyone was terrified of it. There's video of all those guys mentioning the word terrorist. Well, this is great because this takes away from our rights and liberties. Because if you speak against the government or if you're hiding, you can be a terrorist. A terrorist gives the government the rights to justify taking away your rights.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can be a bad guy, right? Exactly. So he said, then they'll have you fear terrorists. He says this. Then he says next they will have you fear meteorites. Mm-hmm. And meteors, mm-hmm. comets. Mm-hmm. Then they will have you fear aliens. I believe the next false flag is going to be something from outer space. And that is going to help initiate the final move on this giant New World Order plan of the New World Order. Because as soon as a fake alien invasion happens,
right,
we're all united. Air
right.
quotes. And
yeah,
we're all going to listen to our government. And that's why people have so much conspiracy theories about flat Earth and bullshit like that, is because, well, you can't blame these people who are thinking the Earth is flat. You can't. I don't think the Earth is flat. I've never had a reason to think it's flat. But these people who do, I don't blame them. The reason why is because NASA is so fucking shady with their shit. It's bizarre. They've been caught in so many lies. And a lot of people believe that NASA is just the Nazi occupation that just hijacked America. Mm-hmm. Undercover, it continued on. In fact, they say NASA stands for to deceive in Latin or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Sure.
But I mean, you look at it, dude. Why hasn't NASA showed one shot of them filming going from the moon to Earth, or from the Earth to the moon?
Well, why haven't we gone back to the moon?
Why haven't we gone back to the moon? Why
Silly.
does the moon landing seem to be fake?
And why hasn't anybody else gone back to the moon?
How come every single astronaut?
Nobody
is
else
a
has gone
Freemason?
back. Why isn't China on the moon right now?
China did send something on the moon. They sent
but they're not there. They didn't send any people there.
No evidence.
Silly. We don't know what's on the backside of the moon.
Why was a flag waving in the wind on the moon?
Well, yeah, I mean, we can also explain it with videos, and stuff like that. But my big question is all right, why hasn't anybody gone back to the moon? Why don't we have a base on the moon? If we plan on landing on Mars or whatever and building, some base out there, why don't we first experiment with our own fucking moon? What? If we plan on going to other
fake, bro.
We plan on landing on Titan, which is which has one of the only potential livable. I'm pretty sure it's Titan. Call us if you think it's if it's a different one. But either way, one of the moons, I think it was of Saturn. Doesn't really matter. Why don't we first experiment with our own fucking moon? What's going on there? Why haven't we gone back? Oh, and you can't say it's because it's too expensive. We launch satellites all day long, and the most expensive part of getting something up and out is getting it up and out of the atmosphere. Once you're out of the atmosphere, you can glide at thousands of miles per hour
with just a little boost.
Well, with no boost. Once you're out, you just go, and there's no friction. You just go. It doesn't cost them money. SpaceX is launching all day long. They're the number one contractor for satellites right now. So, it doesn't make sense that we're not experimenting more with the moon. Why haven't we gone back? I don't know. Maybe there's something up there. Or maybe we never went.
Right. Maybe we never went. But, the crazy theory that I've heard from Eddie Bravo, and it's pretty bizarre, is he was talking about he's talking about flat Earth, dude, and he blew my mind about, he goes, what if space is not endless? What if there's not a giant space?
Mm-hmm.
And what if we are just a fucking in a petri dish? You know, something bizarre like that. And bear with me here. If that is the case, what they would want to convince us is that there is endless space. Right? The cosmos. Aliens and shit like that. And he was talking about Werner von Braun. You know who that is?
Tell me.
He's the guy that invented the V-2 rocket for Hitler. We basically kidnapped him out of the Nazi occupation.
Mm-hmm.
And time out.
Good night. You're so sweet.
Basically, all right, thank you for that. And we're back. Basically, what was I talking about? Werner von Braun. So we kidnapped him and he helped get us to space. He made the atom bomb, right? The nuke that we dropped on Hiroshima. So he was a Nazi. We kidnapped him. We brought him back. He was the guy leading the space race with us against Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Werner von Braun, on his grave, there is a quote from the Bible, and it's from Genesis, and it talks about the firmament.
Oh, yeah.
Look up the definition of a firmament.
Expanse. And
It's a dome.
mm-hmm.
That's the fucking definition of a firmament.
Okay.
I've listened and read to Genesis hundreds of times.
Mm-hmm.
Just for spiritual reasons, for educational reasons, for religious reasons.
Just admit it.
And the firmament is what's in between heaven and earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he had put a quote on his grave. He requested this.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know the exact quote, but of the it's basically talking about the firmament.
Mm-hmm.
That should be it right there. That's
What?
That's a key. That's a hint.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Well, I got to read the quote.
Yeah, I'm rambling right now, but
My understanding of the firmament is it's the expanse, which could also be dome, I understand. And then also, there's this guy that I listen to who thinks that the firmament is another word for plasma in the universe, which is pretty
plasma.
friggin'
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
super interesting.
What does that mean?
You know what? I don't really know exactly what it means. I listened to him talk, and I was like, okay, I need to do my own research into this if I'm going to understand it. So I don't really understand it yet.
Well, let's do this then, because we're running up at that time.
Yeah.
Let's come up with an agenda right now.
Okay.
Of what we want to talk about next episode.
Yeah.
And you and I can do our research.
We'll talk about the firmament. How about that?
Do we want to talk about flat Earth and the firmament and all that shit?
No, not
Space?
flat. Well, firmament is mentioned in the Bible. It's like one of the oldest doctrines on the planet, right? Is Genesis, one of the oldest stories of how the planet, how we were created. You could start off that way. I mean, I don't really care where you go with this, man, but I think, the big question of how did everything begin? Where are we? I think Eddie Bravo's onto something in the fact that, we're just trusting people who are telling us things.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. I mean, if you haven't been...
Everything we know is only what we've been told.
Yeah. So, exactly. And including,
are those good guys or bad guys who have told us?
Well, who knows? Maybe whether they're good or bad, sometimes these scientists make shit up just so they get their name in the fucking textbooks. That's for real. That's for real. There have been multiple evolutionary finds or whatever where it's based off of a single tooth and then a femur found 200 yards that way and a
dinosaur
foot
must have
found
looked like this.
a foot. Yeah, exactly. No, a lot of people. Here's the thing: there's incentive to it. And we talked about it earlier, which is money. Like their grant is coming up in the next 2 weeks if they don't find what they're supposed to find, right? And then that's when it's like, oh shit, we need to find something. So then they make some shit up and put it in the record books, right? And then also there are people who get their PhDs, spend 10 years on researching something, and then later on, it could be disproven. So they
Right.
and that's their whole life. That's their life's work. They can't have something disproven. So it gets it gets heavily criticized, right? So
Yeah.
there's a lot to it. There's ego. There's money. There's there's a lot to it.
Well, another to point to that too is, you remember about the little tiny alien body that was found in South America?
No,
You've seen it.
maybe
Pictures of literally fucking
alien
6
body.
inches. Yeah, it has one less rib than
It's like
humans.
Men in Black.
Has the big elongated skull.
Sure,
Fucking yeah, dude. Well, that little fucking
it's like a pygmy.
yeah, literally 6 inches fucking tall.
Wow.
Was found, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was like, hey, is this a fucking alien? It looks exactly like it, right? It has
Right.
the eyes, the eye socket. It has the giant elongated skull, fucking one less rib. Looks like a little alien. Well, basically the material they found in this, they say it was not from this planet.
Huh.
It has
Like-
all these different, and what they're looking for is isotopes.
Uh-huh.
In the data and the samples they're collecting, and they're like, this is not from even this solar system.
Mm-hmm.
These materials. Well, after years of debates and everything, here's the conclusion.
Huh.
It is a human, is what they say, and here's how they say why. Oh, but how do you explain it being 6 inches tall, and also with the bones aging? They said it was 6 years old.
Mhm.
6 years old, 6 inches tall, elongated skull, missing a rib. All of these things are just deformations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that explains everything.
Could be a midget, I guess. I don't know.
6 fucking inches?
I don't know. I've never seen. That's like a fetus.
I bet you there's midgets with dicks that are 6 inches long.
They're
No,
probably right.
and that's what they say. Oh, this was a fetus. No, it was not a fetus. It aged for 6 years. It was living for 6 years. That they proved.
Well, how?
But
well,
it's
no,
just-
that's another thing.
it's
Like their
just-
scientific
there's
methods
just,
aren't always correct either.
But that's what I'm saying. The scientific method, that's such a broad term, dude. And there was also the word that they used for it wasn't just deformations. What is it? It's something that happens to a human body that's abnormal. What would you
Right.
call that?
Abnormalities.
Whatever. Yeah, abnormal. Okay. If a fucking dog walks up to me right now and it has fucking wings, a tail, and it's happens to
Mutations.
have scales and it looks like a fucking dragon. No,
Yeah.
that's just a dog with
It's a dog that's got
abnormalities.
it's mutations.
Yeah, that was it. Mutation. Thank you. That's
Well,
what
yeah.
they said was mutations. Okay,
Well,
it's
they
not a
wanted to
human-
say mutations because they wanted to line up with their evolutionary theory.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's they.
So again, to tie back what we talked to at the beginning, language limits us dramatically.
That-
And if we take these words that could mean a million things, we put a stamp on it, we say it's this word, and people just go along with their day and move on from it. When we have discoveries all over the world, recent and far behind, that are phenomenal and that are keys to, I think, learning about the true question of why are we here, what are we supposed to do when we're here, and why is there evil? All those questions like that, I think the answers lead to all these secrets and keys all over the world, but that have just been dismissed with simple scientific verbiage that you're used to hearing from the textbooks you grew up in. So you've learned to dismiss it the same way that you've learned about a dwarf star, shit like that. Remember when we were kids, there was only, fucking 7 planets? Now we've realized that actually every single fucking star out there is a fucking planet?
Yeah, the stars have the planets.
Right.
Well, here's a question. Hold up. Have we even observed? I mean, forgive me for my ignorance, though. If you guys know this or not, but have we observed other planets outside of our solar system? Have we?
Who is we?
We,
Humanity?
we scientists, astronomers,
I don't know. Apparently,
cosmologists.
dude, I've heard of so much shit. I've heard
No.
of Gliese 581, which is
Okay.
an Earth-like fucking
On
planet.
the other side of the sun, is that the one? That's fucking so fucking.
I don't
full of
know.
shit.
I don't know if it's on the
Full
other
of
side of
it.
this.
I don't believe it at all.
Gliese 581 is like 20 light years away.
Okay,
So it's not that far away at all. I mean, it is. But
20 light years.
20
far as shit, dude.
Exactly. It takes
Stupid far.
20 years for a light to reach it, right? Yeah, stupid far.
No, it's like super far away.
Right.
But have we really, I don't know. I haven't done much research
Well,
into
think
this.
about
Maybe
this.
I
What
should.
if all the stars are lights that are from the past.
Well, we know that that's possible because it takes 8 minutes for the sun to reach us from the sun, light to reach us from
Right.
the sun.
And
So
that's
for
also
sure, it's they're guaranteed
distance-
from the past. Like the sun we're looking at is already from the past.
The distance
Right.
from here to the sun it's measured as 1 astronomical unit.
Okay.
AU, 1 AU.
Cool.
And I think I can't remember how many miles.
But have we observed other planets? Do we even know other fucking suns have planets? I mean, do we even know that? We might. I mean,
don't know.
it's crazy. It's crazy. There's not very much we can explain. You know,
Yeah.
there really isn't. And we like to fill in gaps. It's part of our brain. You know, our brain fills in gaps. We all know this. We don't see something. Our brain will see it for us. Isn't that crazy? It's true. It's crazy. We'll start seeing things. Our brain will start filling gaps in for us. So it's very. Yeah, I think it might be true in our observations as well of space and everything else. You know, especially if we agree with a certain theory or whatever. There's so much. There's so much that we draw conclusions from that we may not have evidence for. You know, and so that includes
Absolutely.
what we talk about you and I on the podcast. And everyone else, but it's pretty interesting when we get into the sciences and the authorities on our discoveries and on the sciences.
The authorities of it.
The authorities
Absolutely.
are terrifying. So you really need to be careful. Yeah, when working with the authorities, if they don't, when they start shutting down conversation, shutting down skepticism, that's a real dangerous place you're in.
That's
and
what Max Egan was talking about.
Yeah.
He says skepticism is no longer something that is allowed.
That's bad.
And you're
really
exactly
bad.
right, man. When that starts getting shut down, we have a problem.
That's how Socrates was killed, I'm pretty sure. So there you go.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, we're at that time. What I promised to do is, we took an entire month off. It looks like we're going to be, cranking out. I don't know. John. I called John yesterday, and we decided to do this show tonight. So we'll we're gonna try to do We're going to try to do as many shows as possible, but what I'm committed to doing is all this research that I do, I'm going to take notes on it. So that way it doesn't just go into my head and then I come onto the mic and have a couple beers and blah, 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 and we'll actually get down and dirty, fucking find out, really find out some logical points that have been made by a lot of people out there and put them on the table and discuss them.
Yeah.
And debate over them. And that's ultimately what we're here to do. And we're going to have a good time while we do it.
Great.
Right on. Again, check us out at packxpodcast.com. We are going to be having someone very, very, very interesting coming on the show. And what this person's going to talk about is mainly the stuff that we were talking about in the last episode in regards to Q, the pedophile ring. He's really politically engaged. So a lot of fun stuff to talk about with that. Kind of a little bit different taste than this episode. But thank you to you fans out there. We love you.
Thank
You're fucking
you.
awesome. We're averaging... honestly, it's been growing. It hasn't declined once. We're averaging over 150 people listening a day.
It's pretty good.
Per day.
Pretty
So it's
good.
like over 4,500
you.
a month. So thank you. You are what make this worth it. You give us the reason behind all this, and we appreciate you deeply. Please check out packxpodcast.com, and don't forget, it is spring cleaning time. Check out Neat Nick's Carpet Cleaning. Mention promo code PACKXPOD. You can contact them at 503-245-5277 for some of the best service at the best price. Mention promo code PACKXPOD. Get that discount. Get your damn carpets clean for spring cleaning and get all nice and tidy up for summer.
Not those kinds of carpets.
And not that kind of carpet cleaning. Don't get too carried away now. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Lloyd.
This is John.
And we appreciate you so much. We will see you next fucking episode. Have a great time.
Yep.